Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, December the 28th, 2022, the last Wednesday of 2022. Not too much happened to me. I mean, it was just okay. We had Valentin and Anna. They're still on the run. Anna's trying to clear her name, and she called one of her old friends, a contact, to come and try to get some intel from. And in walks in this little pub, little small coffee house, uh, Dr. Andre Maddox. Well, that was a face from the past. And of course, Valentine don't like him, and he don't like Valentine. And he's telling Anna, Andre, are you sure you could trust this guy? And Valentine's like, I don't trust him either. So it was funny. But it's like Anna said, no, Andre, you worked with the Cassadines. There may be something you can remember when you were dealing with the whole mind transfer thing. And he says, every time that he had to report to Victor, he was always blindfolded, had something over his head so that he couldn't see where he was going. He said, but one thing is for sure, the place is still in the city. He says, it wasn't anything that they took me to the country or someplace isolated. He says, I could tell we were still in the city. And from wherever it was, they came from underground, like an underground parking structure, because they would take an elevator going up. And so she goes, no, that's given us some definite leads. And so, of course, Andre wants to help them to see if there's something he can do. And Valentine's like, he could double cross us. She goes, I trust him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we don't know what Andre's been up to. In the past, there was some shadiness that, had gotten himself into, but we'll see. I mean, I think they just brought him back as somebody to help. I don't really believe it'll be anything shady with him. And we also had Victor was telling Spencer that he wanted to do some kind of family thing the next day. And Spencer's like, I'm hardly going to do anything where my father's concerned. And so he and Victor talk, and he's like, Spencer, look, Nicholas, because Spencer's like, what he did with Elizabeth, he took advantage of her. And Victor's like, they are two grown consenting adults. You do not know that happened, that it happened that way. So either way, he's like, no. I told my father as soon as I could, I was leaving this place, and he didn't try to stop me. He didn't say he didn't want me to. He goes, Spencer, I think you're misreading the situation. And Nicholas comes out, no, he's not. Like, it's not the best for my son to be living here right now. And Spencer's like, there you have it. So he's like, I'm out of here, because he was going to go meet Trina. So Victor is looking at Nicholas, what is wrong with you? So Nicholas is like, no, it's just not the right time for me and my son right now. So then Victor's talking to him about Ava, she's a woman scorned, and, perhaps Elizabeth. He goes, Elizabeth is a better match for you. Although Victor would not like Elizabeth and her brood moving into Spoon Island. He would not like that, right? But Elizabeth would never move there anyway. So Nicholas and him are talking, because he goes, Ava, told me about Elizabeth and being pregnant. He goes, no matter what the circumstances, any new Cassadine heir is a blessing. See, they always feel that way, right? More young to corrupt. So Nicholas is like, yeah, well, Elizabeth lost her baby. Ava, when she told you that Elizabeth was pregnant, she probably did not know at that time that Elizabeth had a miscarriage, but she knows now. And in my mind, I'm thinking, but poor Spencer doesn't know. Nicholas sure didn't tell Spencer. Although, you know what? I don't think Nicholas told Spencer Elizabeth was pregnant. Nicholas told Spencer that he had an affair with Elizabeth. I don't think he said she was pregnant. So anyway, now Victor's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, my boy, or whatever. So, that's them. And then we have Laura and Martin go to the jail, to the penitentiary, to see Cyrus. And Cyrus, to me, Cyrus is genuine when it comes to protect. And he goes, I'm trying to protect my family, even though, look, like truth was, no, we did find out that was Victor Cassadine that tried to have Martin and Cyrus killed. I mean, Martin and Laura killed. It was not Cyrus. You know, he goes, my family means everything to me. He goes, dear sister, Victor Cassadine is setting you up. And he's telling her, you have a mole in the mayor's office. Deputy, whatever, assistant mayor, blah, 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 is working for Victor. And, Victor doesn't get his hands dirty. He didn't personally, his name is not going to be on the early release for Spencer. He would have the deputy mayor do it. And then it would come out, she would say, she was doing this on your behalf. He goes, Victor will be trying to make, he goes, because look, in the eyes of your constituents, that wouldn't look good. You're pulling strings for your family. And she goes, but I didn't. He goes, yeah, I know you didn't. Martin knows you didn't. But if it comes out, it's not going to look like you didn't. He says, I'm telling you, we need to band together. He was like, to get rid of Victor Cassadine, because he's out to hurt the family. He goes, Laura, I have resources out there. I can get done what you can't. And she goes, you mean what I won't? And he goes, either way. Because she's like, no, I don't know what's in this for you. And he's did everything but bang his head against the wall, saying, I want I want my family, my brother, my sister, my nephew. I want my family protected from Victor Cassadine. He needs to go, And she goes, and don't you want justice for the father, for Luke Spencer? And that kind of struck a chord with Laura when he said that, because Laura knows Victor's behind that. And so, but she doesn't want to let Cyrus know that she needs or wants his help, because Cyrus will turn some stuff against you, right? He really will. So she's trying to figure it, how much is she going to let him in on whatever she's feeling, right? And so he just said, as she's leaving, dear sister, you know where to find me when you need me. Because he's like, because you gonna need me. And so the camera she didn't turn around and look at him. But her face was looking, and Martin's looking at her like, do you think so? But her face was looking like, you know what? I'm gonna have to file that away and keep that in the back of my mind, because Cyrus just might be right. So then we have Trina. She's at Kelly's talking to Ava, and back and forth. She's still upset guilty about Rory, but Ava's like, but look, and she showed the picture that it had where Spencer and her in a picture with Laura. She goes, you and Spencer looking like you're getting pretty close here. And she goes, he was there to support me. And she goes, Trina, Nicholas hurt me a lot. Those Cassadine men, be careful. And Trina says, I know what I'm doing, Ava. I know what I'm doing. And so Spencer comes over into Kelly's and he says, Ava, can I have a word with you in private? And so Trina's like, okay, I'll go check on Joss. And Ava immediately starts, whatever, sniping at him. And he goes, Ava, I'm trying to tell you something. He goes, Ava, if you would finally shut up, I'm trying to apologize to you. And she looked like, wait, what? And he goes, the way I targeted you and the way I treated you, no, I'm apologizing. I was wrong. And the way my father ended up treating you, oh. And so Ava's like, well, she wasn't expecting that. And she's like, well, okay. And yeah, your father was wrong. He treated me horribly. And so Spencer says something to her and she goes, and look, you've also hurt Trina. And he goes, I know, and I'm going to make that right. I'm going to make it right. And she goes, Spencer, bottom line, you hurt her again. He goes, I know I'm going to have to answer to you. And she goes, yes, you will. Or you're darn right or something. And so he goes, well, I'm going to take Trina to Brit's party tonight. And Ava's like, wait, what? She goes, yeah. Otherwise, she would be home alone, feeling guilty. So I feel like, look, listen, I'm going to get her out. We're going to have a nice time. You know, I want to be a friend of Trina. And so Trina comes back over because Ava stands up. So she realizes they're done. And she goes, oh, so you're going to Brit's party, huh? And she goes, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm going to go. And so she goes, well, be careful. And Ava leaves. And so she goes, you told Ava about the party? He goes, yeah. I figured I could be the bad guy, you know. She can explain that she doesn't want us to go together to me. Better me take it from her than you. She goes, well, I have to admit, I've been sitting here talking to her all this time trying to figure out how to tell her. He goes, well, now I've taken care of it. Unless you plan on changing your mind, right? And Trina's like, nope, I'm not planning on changing my mind. So they got, because we're gonna lure Esme out. And speaking of Esme, you know, she's got this plan. She's going to start a fire in her room, which is going to be her way out. So she goes, yeah, her little tree is all nice and flammable now. All she needs is something to light it with, right? So I think his name is it Johan? You know, whoever Nicholas has as her guard that likes her. Esme's not eating her food, so of course everybody's worried about that. And Nicholas says, "Look, I don't care what you do. I'll get a feeding tube in here, but you're gonna eat." And so Johan says, "Listen." He goes, "So if you have anything special you want, tell Johan. He'll have the cook make it for you, but you're gonna eat." So he comes in and he goes, "What would you like for dinner? Because you have to eat, Esme." "I don't want to eat." He goes, "How about a nice steak dinner?" She goes, "Well, steak does sound nice, but I'm surprised you would let me have a knife." "No, I'll bring it in here. It'll be pre-cut for you." So then she goes, "You know what was nice? Last New Year's Eve, Spencer and he made sure we had a nice candlelit dinner, and it was good food with the candles. I would like steak, and can I have a candle? And some candles. And can you join me?" And he goes, "I no, I'm the guard. I can't, you know, that would not look right. I can't join you." "Oh, but I'm so lonely in here." And she goes, "But oh, if you can't," he goes, "Look, I'll think about it. But Mr. Cassadine would not like it." Because she goes, "Candles?" And he goes, "Oh, Mr. Cassadine wouldn't like it." He goes, "But I'll think about it. Watch him. Bring her in a tiny little birthday candle." Thinking he can get away with that. And look, and he's going to say, "But I cannot eat in here with you," because he really, but Nicholas better not catch him in there sitting down eating with Esme. He'd be fired. I know I would fire him because I would know, hello, you're compromised, right? But even if it's a tiny little birthday candle, she's going to take that tiny little candle. It'll light up that toilet paper so fast it's not even funny. So that's going to be interesting. And you know, it's going to all happen probably Friday. Maybe the end of Thursday, she'll light the tree. But the cliffhanger is probably going to be the hook killer at Brit's party on Friday. But then we have Britt. She came to help Britta get dressed, and she ended up finding Brit's suitcase because Britt was packing to get out of Dodge, right? And so Obert's like, "Britta, what's this suitcase?" Because she was going to take her dress around to hang it up. And she runs into the suitcase, and Britt says, "Mother, I'm going on a trip after the party." And she goes, "Why is this the first time I'm hearing about it?" And she goes, "Because I decided all of a sudden I'm going to places I want to go to." And she goes, "But where? Tell me, what are your places? What are your itinerary?" She goes, "I'm going to send you postcards from wherever I end up, Mother. I haven't set out a full path, but I'm going to just enjoy myself." So her mother's like, "Okay." You know, she's thinking it's a short little vacation, right? And so they kind of reminisce about, she's, I'm sorry I wasn't a better mother to you, and I, blah, 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 mother, you were my mother, and blah, blah, blah. So then she tells her how she accidentally told Nina about Britt's medical condition. And she goes, well, I guess Nina is family. And then she goes, but then I accidentally told Sonny Corinthos too. She's like, mother, why would you tell Sonny? He goes, well, he happened to be there with Nina, you know, and they both promised not to tell. And Britt's like, no, she wasn't. She goes, I'm not mad at you, you know. I didn't know, because she told her how hard it is for her to keep that secret all to herself. And she goes, mother, I didn't know that it was hard on you. She goes, why wouldn't it be? I'm your mother. And you're hurting and you're sick and you're not going to go through this alone. I'm going to be there every step of the way. And Britt's kind of looking sad, like, no, you ain't. So then her mother wants them to take this nice little selfie. They actually looked happy because, it's funny to me, like even these actresses, they pretty much know that after the party, this is going to be the last time that the actress playing Britt's going to be on the show for a long time, if ever. So they were probably taking also to a nice, a nice co-worker photo together, as they were been mother and daughter on this show for years. And this is their little goodbye shot. That's how I saw that. I thought, oh, look at there. She's going to be leaving. This is the last time they're going to be able to do that. So anyway, that was this Wednesday's daily recap of General Hospital. Now in Comic Corner, someone said for me, Anna said to maybe put one of my Yorkies up, and probably the one that's doing all the coughing. She's a little better today. Her little supplements to help lung movement and mobility is kicking in. So anyway, she hasn't interrupted me today, but I did go ahead and put a picture together. Those are my two Yorkies. The one in the green sweater, he's a male, he's Oliver. Oliver is 14. And the dog, the bigger, thick one down there, that's Makara. She's 14 and a half. She'll be 15 in March. So, they're both, let's face it, they're pretty much on their way out, but he's healthier than she is. And she's completely blind in one eye, partially blind in the other. But Kara's the one that was having the little respiratory situation going on. That's what you've been hearing in the daily recaps. But those are my canine family, my canine babies. I've had them for 14 and a half years, one, 14 years, the other, and they are my heart. So anyway, let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I'm going to breeze right through this. On Comment Corner, we have Ron says, it takes a minute to fool Sonny, and if you cross him, that's the Latin you want to do. That's the something. I think we got a typo there, and I can't quite figure out what the typo is there. You want, or maybe that's the last thing you want to do, is just missing some letters there. And diamond earrings will cause Sasha to lose everything over a gambling debt. Yeah. What's her name? Gladys is going to cause her to lose everything over a gambling debt. And LaShanta says, I knew Gladys wasn't nothing. Sasha, at least Nina would have done right by Sasha. That's true. Sonny never listened. Sonny never listened. Gladys trying Sonny because she knows he's weak. She knows, or maybe are you talking about Selena is trying Sonny because she knows he's weak? She knows Gladys's family and doesn't care. Why BLQ wants Chase? He did the same thing with Willow and Michael. He took their choices. She's trying to make it right. The thing is, Chase wasn't going to perform until Dante told him that he was getting, he was getting his old job back, not because he wanted to do the right thing. That's true. And then Drew is smarter than Carly thinks. I hope so, because they're having Drew fall for everything. And then, yes, Anna Rihanna, I showed the pictures of my dogs. And then Anna Rihanna says, Sonny should remember the Russian mess. I hope he's taking the time this way to check the degree of the transactions. Miss Wu has a voice of don't mess with me. She sure does. I love this character. She sounds like a beautiful snake. And this is Cody Who again. Chase will forgive her eventually. Carly will spend the dollars to keep the secret. The truth comes out, and it'll be double heck for Carly. Oh, girlfriend, the clock is check the clock, it's ticking. Drew, whenever your investigation falls apart, look who's standing right next to you. I don't think they have been together yet. I don't think so either. This relationship needs to be done. I'm sad to see Britt go this way. I'm sad to see her leave the show. Great recap. And LaShunta says exactly, Karpov stabbed Sonny and threw him in the water and left him for dead. Who saved Sonny? Carly jumped in and saved him. Sonny killed the man, and Carly gave him an alibi saying they had sex and she lost Jax. LaShunta says, I believe Obret will handle Miss Wu after about Britt. Carly and Drew have not slept together. Good, because because he will leave her once he finds out about her lies. Drew is smarter than she thinks. So let's see. Anna Rihanna said, oh, no, LaShunta says, when the bombshell goes off, Carly will have to answer twofold for her mistakes. Yeah, Michael and Willow are, she's gonna have to answer to them too. And Sherry says, I felt like Heather was setting her sights on Portia the other day. She wanted to hook her right then and there. Portia sealed the deal by approving for her to go back to prison. And this Chemo Beauty says, does Drew ever work? I know. Well, he takes the occasional phone call from Aurora, right? He seems that he has nothing better to do than to try to suck face with Carly every chance he gets. And Carly doesn't seem to be very into him. She really isn't. They're right about Drew. Oh, you're right about Drew always whispering. Cameron Matheson has always played his characters with whispers. I don't understand that. It's annoying. It's what I also hated about Peter. Yeah, Peter August. I felt so bad for Sasha because Gladys is doing her wrong. How much can Sasha take, for goodness sake? I know. Cody is out of order because regardless, he is still lying about being Mac's son. And then Ruth says, okay, thank you, sweetheart. I got mixed up. Who? Okay, I got mixed up. You're right. You confirmed that it doesn't mean I'm dumb. What? I just mean I'm mixed up. Never said nothing about you being dumb. Mixed up, right? I still love your hat. You really do love this hat because you mentioned it in every comment. I love your hat and your fashion sense. Now, really, this is just practicality. You know, you can't go wrong if I wear the same hat and it's a black shirt, right? It's easy, easy wardrobe. I never have to think about what am I wearing on the daily recap today. Hello. You're a fastener niece. In other words, you're really fashionable. Oh, okay. Oh, you meant fashionista. You're really fashionable. That's my nickname. The jazzy cap lady. Thank you, Ruth. If they kill Cody off, if the hook killer kills Cody off, I wouldn't be against it. I don't know. It's been pretty random. I don't know if it will happen, but it's been pretty random and it comes and goes from, like goes off like a woman's period. Okay. Michael says, Drew and Carly haven't slept together. Thank you. I believe they will though. Yeah, one time, right? It'll be a one-hit wonder. Who who they're going to set those two up if not each other. I agree with you. I like the new Heather. Look forward to seeing your fur babies. You saw the picture. Great recap. Yes, you saw that picture today, Michael. And then Ruth says, Maxie made her choice in life that are good at our good and at your bad, our bad. The reason why she is Spinelli broke up is probably something she did. Let's not blame sweet strawberry Effie for Maxie's choices, aka Levi. I don't know who's Levi. Let's not forget the piece of crap talk about lines of vomiting. Of vomit he worse than Cody. Who's Levi? Worse than Cody ever was about. Let's see, Jasper Jacks and his little band of bad guys. I didn't know Jasper Jacks had a band of bad guys at all. Mac has been involved. I mean, she's not exactly great. Oh, you mean Maxie? In a relationship, in the relationship department. The only man that she's only been involved with Damien Spinelli and you. I don't quite get that part, Ruth, nicknamed Spider. She really loved Peter. She really loved Nathan. She really loved Nathan. That was really, she loved Nathan more than she loved Spinelli. And then let's see, Ruth, what else are you saying? I've seen better Heather Weber was talking with Ryan Chamberlain. Yeah. Merry Christmas, sweetie. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think, Ruth, yeah, we got quite a few comments there from you. And then NK, well, there's my dog going right now. She's been quiet until now. I believe Pikeman Security is the company. That's right. Pikeman Security. Michael, whoa. That Michael used to hire Dex? It might have been. Uh-oh. Then that means Dex really knows the bad guys, right? Whoa, that would prove interesting. Pikeman Security, if that's who Michael used. Sherry says, I thought the same thing. They said it when Dex got hired. Oh, goodness. That would be interesting. That's going to bring an interesting storyline in. And Dacia says, Judge should remove Gladys from Sasha's conservatorship from Sasha's fortune because Gladys should be ashamed of herself for taking advantage of Sasha's fortune. Gladys is not trustworthy. Cody is out of his league with Britt. Yes, he is. And then Cassie of Grace says, poor Sasha. And Sandy says, thanks for the review. And then we have a name I can't quite pronounce. YAA says, LOL, Drew and Carly are so not it. Also, Drew is smarter than this comes on. Okay, smarter than this, come on. Okay, so anyway, that's the comments from Comment Corner. Comments from Comment Corner. Thank you so much for your comments. We will be back. We've got 2 more days of 2022 with General Hospital. I think they plan on taking the year out with I would say with a bang, but I'm going to say with a hook. They're getting ready to take the 2022 out with a hook and a fire. That's exactly what they're going to do. So I will be back tomorrow for the next daily recap of General Hospital.